Hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. GoodTimesWithScar here, and welcome back to the wonderful worlds of Hermits and Crafting. And we're here at our little hobbit hole down below, getting ready to do some massive building in the community build. We are gonna make our spiral staircase and all sorts of other intricate, beautiful details over at the build. But before we do that, let's fly back into our little humble abode here and welcome back, guys, and it's great to have you once again here. And boy, guys, like, I just can't even put into words how much of appreciation fills me for each and every one of you guys. All of the nice comments, all of that stuff you guys have been showing me lately, I just appreciate it so much. And every episode, I've got to thank you, right? But we went on some incredible adventures on our streams over the weekend. Do you want to see what we got? Let's open it up. All right, so look at this. We've got 2 elytras. Actually, I think I had that already, but it was in a shulker box, so I think that didn't come from the adventure. But look at this. We've got these boots. We've got, well, I mean, we have some iron chest plates. That's not bad enchants right there. That could be an emergency suit. Got some potions of healing. That's important. And look at how many shulker shells. I went back after the streams and even got even more. It was the most harrowing adventure I've ever been on. But yeah, that's when I got the extra elytras. And then over here, some additional supplies. That's right, shulker shell heads. Super, super awesome. Absolutely love it. So look, oh, that's chest cap, by the way. Look at how many of these boxes we have now. This is crazy. I thought I had more in these boxes, but that is just absolutely insane. And I hope you guys enjoyed the streams over the weekend. We even had a special guest, BWA. So that was really fun, but it is now time to put on a little show for you with my appreciation for our milestone we just achieved, which is 300,000 subscribers. So let me put a little something together here for you. And let's get it underway. So with the power invested in me, along with this pig, we will pull the lever of appreciation. And let's watch a little fireworks show. That is right. I killed every creeper that was the making of this fireworks show. And this is just an appreciation to you for the support that you guys have showed me. And I can't even put into words how much I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out, watching the videos, and commenting, and just being a part of this community that we've created together. And just a huge, huge thank you. And you guys make it so I get up each and every night and just say, you know what, we're going for this. You know, we have, some difficulties in life, but we're gonna put those aside because we have this wonderful thing called YouTube, and we can do this, we could share, we could create, and that's what just makes me so happy in life. And it's all owed to you guys. So a huge, huge thank you. And remember, every one of those fireworks, I had to slay a creeper for one of those. So guys, thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed the 300,000 celebration fireworks. Now, I wish I had more fireworks, but all the gunpowder was from me slaying creepers over the last 2 days, because a lot of the witch farms are still not operational on the server, but that's okay. That showed how much I cared about those fireworks by how many creepers I slayed. And the best part about it is I didn't die one time going after those guys, but I want to put it out to you guys. What would you guys like to see for our official 300,000 subscriber special video? In the comments, hashtag 300,000, and let me know what you think we should do. I want it to be something that you guys come up with. Some ideas that I had was Q&A, maybe a Scar adventure out to the waterfalls, one of our photography adventures I always hint at we're going to do but never do. Something along those lines. Please let me know in the comments. I want to do something that really shows my appreciation to you guys and something that you guys want to see for it. So let me know. As you can see, the cat army is growing ever stronger, but we are off now. So I've got pretty much all the supplies I need packed up. We've got quite a bit of stone and different things along those lines today because we're heading back to the community build to start working on the central column's details. That's right. We built the structure in our last episode, but it is now time to set up the details. Oh, geez, golly gee, it's past that time, guys. Let's try it one more time. Let me get a big flight here. Let me get a big flight. Come on, big flights. There we go. No, I'm giving a big hop. Maybe if I ate some steak. Maybe if I just eat a little steak. Like I always say, a little steak makes life a little better, doesn't it? Okay, no, jeez. Oh man, I'm just like a rabbit. Just a little rabbit here. Oh, there we go. We've got some flight. All right, so let's fly over to the community build. I just F5'd at the community dig site, and I have no idea what happened to my face. What is wrong with my face? This is hilarious. That is the back of my head, but that's my front. That's my shirt. That's my belt buckle. That's my steak. We talked about that earlier. I don't know. That is slightly disturbing on many levels, but welcome to the community dig, and it is time for an update. So buckle up, my friends. Keep your hands and arms inside the Scar roller coaster, and here we go. Wait, that's the wrong way. Whoops, my bad. There we go. That's the right way. So we're dipping down underground here. And of course, this is the community dig. And we try to do a little bit of an update for every episode going forward now, because I think that would be good, because the progress here is going to become very, very staggering very soon. So working our way down the ladder, as you can see, there's just walls. And of course, that's our middle portion right there. Now, in our last episode, we built this entire cavern in here. Now, Zuma and I have been trying to come up with some ideas for in here, so stay tuned for that. I think we can come up with something pretty darn awesome for in here, because originally I'm looking at this thing and like, that's a lot of wasted space, so we've got to do something with that. So let's go through the walls here in our camera account, and that is the central column, at least half of it anyway, and it is going to be something we're going to work very hard on today. And we talked about it as being a petrified tree, not like over the top like that is a tree, but something that you just kind of instinctively know that looks kind of like a tree, and it's going to be themed towards a petrified tree. Now, what the hermits have done to it is they've built spiral staircases that go up in and around it, and there's little houses built into it, and all sorts of beautiful little details like that, which is going to be really amazing, right? Does that sound awesome? Sounds awesome to me. And of course, around the edges, that is something we need to start working on. As you can see, we're starting to build up some platforms here, and then some areas have been excavated here, so we kind of need to get some signs down and really come up with a plan, because we don't want to do more work than we need to. So we need to pick the point where, say, this level right here is the residential level right up here, right? And then we go down maybe 10 blocks over here. That ring then becomes the shopping district. So we need to kind of settle on that, because we're kind of chopping out sections here and there just to get those chopped out. So we need to kind of map that out a little bit more. And the main goal of that is just to avoid more work than we have to, right? So that we're not taking out blocks that we otherwise you'd use in the actual design. So let's shoot our boosters here and move up to the next level. And of course, at the top here, what I want to do is I want to have some of these things kind of branching off a little bit at the top. So nothing over the top, just kind of branching off. So we'll kind of feather it off to the sides. And of course, eventually we're going to start working on these cool columns that will kind of hold up the dome. Now, like we talked about before, doing something very natural, something like our crystal cave design we've done in Hermit Quest, or we've done with Wells in season 4, that cannot be done with this scale the way I'd like to do it. I'd be here for 3 years, guys. I got other projects. I got Scarlandia to build. So we're gonna do some other ways of doing this as more of like a kind of like a trick, you know, using these columns and then using that to kind of cover up large sections of the blank space. So coming up with clever little ideas like that will definitely be awesome. So what do you guys think of it so far? Like, hashtag city designs. I love that hashtag because I've gotten so much inspiration from it. So keep that definitely coming. And I definitely want to hear your guys' feedback so far. Have you been surprised? Like, that is my main question to you guys is, have you... What? What's going on up here? What the heck? Oh man, that was hilarious. Maybe he found like No Face Scar. That's right, it's No Face Scar. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I got super distracted. I'm just having a great time today. So, like I said, are you surprised by the amount of progress done? Because personally, I have been incredibly surprised. But yeah, so are you guys ready? Get your pickaxes? Because let's get digging. These green bouncy people are gonna get super annoying. So I've been trying to figure out a way of potentially incorporating them into the design somehow. Maybe this is why the hermits are down below. Maybe the slime people have pushed them out from the above, or maybe simply that these are kind of the rats of the underworld and we maybe make cages and we put them in there. I don't know, just something to kind of incorporate the slimes some way into the build. And they kind of pack a punch, the slimes do, don't they? If they sneak up on you, like, I'll be honest, I've nearly died a few times from these guys. But anyway, let's get busy. So first thing I want to do today is I want to take some dirt and I want to make a really basic outline of the spiral staircase. Now, the reason I would do this is so that once I get all the stone and all the details down, and if I see something that's just not right, we can quickly make an emergency, change quickly because it's dirt. We can just wipe it out and clean it up. So I think that'll be super fancy. So what I want to do is I kind of just want to start making just a simple platform, kind of giving us an idea on how we kind of want to start to bring this upwards to the top. Now, I want it to be a very kind of gentle slope upwards, so that'll make sure we have extra room, for little facades and houses and doors and windows. I think that'll look really cool. Also, remember, I kind of want to bring in the center a little bit, so I want to kind of cut that out and create a little bit more of an hourglass shape, so I think that'd look really nice. So let me get busy, see what I can make of this. The power of the dirt, my friends, and you wonder why the Minecraft dirt block is my favorite block in Minecraft. This little layer of dirt has revealed so many problems with my original thought process for the design, and it has also inspired me in whole new directions, which I'm quite excited about. So yeah, laying this all out in a temporary block such as dirt has really inspired me and showed me the error of my ways. So let's look at this real quick. So as you can see, I want this spiral staircase to be very spirally, right? You wanted to go a couple times around, so the original spacing would have really only given us 2 loops. And we can't be having that, can we? No, we can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this a lot flatter. So we're only going to do the actual step up patterns along these sections right here. And we're going to have these parts more flat, and that'll allow us to have more facades, because if we're going to build little facades into it, it's going to look a little weird if we're trying to space them up where the actual staircase portion of it is on an incline right there. See that? If we're trying to build doors and stuff like that, that's going to make it super hard to do. Anyway, in the center here, this just makes it more evident that I need to cut this out. So my next thought processes and what I got really inspired for was, what I want to do is I want to start taking some of these kind of almost roots coming out of the bottom section and then fanning them downwards like so. And then this entire little capsule from that. So like I said, these come down, and then their little section above there will go out like branches, and this whole center column will become acacia. So I think that is going to look really, really, really cool. Putting a bunch more thought into the actual structure, I think we've got a pretty good game plan as of now, and the dirt really, really helps. So first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to start in this little corner here, and we're going to use these flatter planes right here as more of a straight surface of the curve. Now, when we first did the little dirt curve, we only got 1 or 2 spirals. I want 4 or 5 spirals. We're going to get spiral crazy, my friends. Okay, so we're going to start like I read about here, and we're going to start building this out. Now, like we've talked about before, we want to create kind of a root structure down at the bottom. So down in this little section over here, I want to create a roots and really build up this lower region so it fans outwards and creates that hourglass shape. And of course, at the top, then we turn this centerpiece in here into acacia? Yes, acacia. So I think that's going to look really, really, really cool. And acacia log is one of my favorite blocks in Minecraft. It is got to be one of the most versatile things that we have in terms of building blocks. Am I right? Can we get some hype for acacia logs? Because think about it in this way. People always ask, Scar, why do you use so many acacia logs in your builds? Why not? Look at the possibilities when you look at acacia. Well, I don't have any on me, but if I did have any on me, I could show you. And you can use this for a dried log, right? So just a standard old dried log. You can even use it for a tree log. Maybe you're trying to make something like a kind of a spindly kind of desert tree or something along those lines, okay? So that sounds like pretty cool, doesn't it? That sounds amazing to me. And then you can also get real crazy and use it as metal. That's right, like old metal or something along those lines for a build. Also, if you're working with a lot of different stones, you can use that, and it almost acts as a stone itself because it is a neutral gray color with a pretty standardized texture. And I love it. It's one of my favorite blocks, just, well, minus the orange center. As much as I love orange, don't get me wrong. Not a big fan of the other part. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I think this is going to look really, really cool. I just can't wait to get to the point where we can crack this thing open and get to the delicious center up there, because that's going to be amazing. Once we start, kind of hourglassing it in a little bit. And this project's been a little intimidating, to be honest. This is a huge thing. this thing is massive, and it's really hard to work with, to be honest with you there. And it's okay. Like I'm good. I'm loving it. But it's also to a certain extent, wow, something's right there not being the way it should be. You know, it's slightly like intimidating. You know, I want to make sure this is perfect, you know, like every regard, but it's also incredibly difficult to plan because of the scale of this, you know, monstrosity. Excuse me, I am really trying here. Can you just leave me? Can you just leave me alone? Thank you. It's, you know, very difficult to plan. So what I have to do is mostly improv this out because I can't really go into a creative test world and really work on this and still get my video done, you know, just because of the scale of it. So I kind of have to do it all improv and just hope that the ideas in my head are successful enough and that we can use those properly and make something cool, because this is the center piece of the city and it's got to be good. It's got to be good. But yeah, it's a big project and I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are. And you guys have just been so supportive of me on this project. And I got to point out one other thing. I think this is about as far as I'm going to go for now. Now I want to start working on kind of showing you some of the details that we're going to establish. And as we do that, I want to ask you, now that we had 300,000 subscribers, how long have you been subscribed? Let me know in the comments. Hashtag I've been with Scar 4. Let me know. And, you know, let me know too. Like, when did you, excuse me, Mr. Slime, I'm having a really great conversation over here and you just interrupted it. And I don't appreciate that as much as your little cute little faces over there. I still don't appreciate it. Okay. All right. But yeah, let me know, like, when did you subscribe and maybe what project or something along those lines. I'd absolutely love to know, you know, if you guys have, you know, just subscribed today or you've been here for 5 years. I love you all very, very much. And you know I appreciate you so much. So let's put these blocks around here like so. And like I said, these little sections can eventually become the little buildings and things like that. Okay. So you might be wondering, how do we do these like stair steps? So what we're going to do is we're just going to really mix in a lot of things. This is like a Scar standardized, you know, stone naturalified, you know, walkway like so. You know, you'll see this in a lot of my different builds, something that's very, very similar to this. And then we can mix in just a little bit of polished andesite like so. Very, very beautiful. So yeah, this is something we've been doing maybe since, boy, man, I can't remember. I think it had to have been around the time 1.8 came out and they released these blocks that we really kind of nailed down this pattern that we've been using for a very long time. The first time we ever used it was for a smokestack, actually for just a random build we did for one of our first Twitch streams ever. Okay, so that's looking decent. I'm going to throw in just a few smooth slabs like this, just to kind of give it that little extra pop of a lighter color. So consider this a highlight of the stone, and that just helps kind of make, you know, just keeps it from being, you know, not so monotone. You know, it gives us that extra little highlight here and there. So I think that's good. This is just going to take a long time, my friends, to get this all loaded up and ready to go. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a few minutes once I really nail down this design. There we go. We've actually made a decent amount of progress. I know it just looks like a drop in a bucket, but that was quite a bit of work to get to this point. Let's dive into the details and take a peek. Now, I got to point out, now keep a weather eye open out there, because those slimes that live here are far more vicious than you think. They lure you in with their cuteness and they'll get you with their hidden fangs. That's right. You heard it here first. Those slimes cannot be trusted. They are evil. Look at them. I see one up there bouncing right now. I got killed twice by slimes, and I'm not even going to go into the details, but it was painful, and I don't like them anymore. So, as you can see, I'm slowly bringing up this all the way around. It's amazing how many dirt ghost blocks that we had up there. Anyway, as you can see, this is looking good. Now, what I want to do is I want to continue to build up the stone on the side of this, and eventually, like we talked about before, creating the diorite. No, the diorite. I mean the acacia logs up there. So one thing I would like to do now is start some of the branches that kind of create maybe a root structure. So my thoughts are that in this little spot right here, I'm pretty excited about this. So if we take this and we run this all the way up here like so. Okay, I really hope this looks decent. And we put that like that, then jump on down, looking pretty fancy. And we can run these guys along here like that. There we go. And then jump up here like so. And let's sneak around the back. Okay. This is good. This is looking really good. So like I said, I want to create these little roots that look like they're kind of, coming out. And, these can just be rock formations, or if you want to use your imagination, you can think of them as roots for our petrified tree. Okay, let's back off just a little bit. Oh, yes, that is looking very good. So one thing I would like to do down here, of course, is just like we said before, just kind of spread these about a little bit. If we can grab onto that, there we go. And then we'll jump up here just a smidge bit more. And what I want to do soon with this is really get out the cobblestone and details along those lines and really detailify it. Ooh, detailify. I like that. Is that a new word we've created? Hashtag detailified. I like it. I like it a lot. So let's take this down here and let's push these guys upwards just ever so slightly. Oh, this is looking fine. Okay. So jump up here like that. Boom and a bam. And yeah, okay, let's call that good for now. And yes, okay, so there's lots of improvements we need to make. We need to beef up this side by a substantial margin, and then we need to kind of refine these little corridors through here. But the general shape and idea, I think, is going to be successful, which that's going to be really nice. I got to do this really quick here. I just got to go like just a little bit here. I can't just leave it like that, Sometimes you just can't. All right, and then I'm gonna sneak around the back here, do a little more. There we go, just a quick sneaky. There, oh, come on. Oh, well, it just blocked my path, but that's fine. That's fine. If it's gonna do that, I don't care. And then we'll go like this, just to give that just a little bit more thickness, just so we can get going. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love Minecraft. I just love unexpected surprises, right? As I was kind of building this up here, I was like, can we do like kind of a root, kind of like rock structure up here? I think that'd look really cool. So making some huge progress. Now, the last thing we need to do is we need to take this, just the standard stone, and spiralify it all the way up to the top. And we're gonna do that in super fast build mode. Welcome back, and I feel we are finally getting somewhere with this design, which makes me so very happy because we've been at this a long time. So let's pull back a bit, and as you can see, there has started to become a bit more of our structural detail. And what I mean by structural detail, that is kind of all the little shapes and things similar to these kind of stone roots that kind of flow outward. That is the structural detail. Then we can apply our, our small detail pieces to that, so just andesite, cobblestone, and eventually we can put in the why did I do that again? I don't mean diorite. I can hear Iskall out in the distance crying out loud for me for saying that. No, I mean acacia logs. Once we get those kind of built in and around in the main actual centerpiece. But yeah, this is quite a process, my friends. As you can see, look at the spirals, how they go upwards. Like, that's starting to look pretty cool. I was really doubting myself for a while, and I was kind of like kicking myself for the certain ways I did this, which of course I could have done this in certain ways that would make this a lot easier. Like maybe when we hollow this out, like kind of leave the centerpiece, and then we could have just chiseled this out with our actual, slimes. Ugh, I don't like you. We could have chiseled this out with our pickaxes instead of rebuild it from scratch, which, that would have helped a lot. But I didn't have the vision yet, and the visions need to come, right? So it's okay. This is actually, I think, starting to look good. So at this point, what do you think? So hashtag halfway, what do you think it looks like? Give me some suggestions here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up just a little bit farther. I might not go up all the way and start actually working on some of the small details down in these areas here. I think that would look really cool. And we don't want to forget, we still want to incorporate little houses, little builds, little things into the walls. And I think that'll look super fancy. Wow, this has been a lot of work, my friends. I hope you guys are enjoying this process of seeing this thing materialize out of nothing. That's what's cool about Minecraft, is getting that design that just kind of flows out of nothing. It's just a blank canvas that we're putting our own creative input onto. That's what I love about Minecraft. It might be difficult, but it sure is rewarding. All right, my friends, back to the grind. And no super fast build mode, and welcome back. And we now have the structure of our Petrified Tree set up and ready to go for the detailing phase. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about, is we need to add contrast to it. That's a big thing, is we need to add contrast, really highlight the inner of the tree, really highlight the spiraling staircase as the hermits have carved it out as they spiral down. So yeah, this is no joke. I started this at 12 and it is now 11:56 right now. So from noon to midnight. This has taken a long time, but as always, I think it's worth it. I at least hope it is. I have a hashtag for you guys. If you made it to the end of the video at this point, I want to see this. Never forget the dig. Hashtag never forget the dig. If you made it to this long in the video, I want to see hashtag never forget this dig, because this thing's crazy. Wow, that had a little bit of power there. Didn't you see that? The boosters were firing tonight. All right, so let's kind of give this thing a little bit of a twirl here. So as you can see, these little spirals up. Now, one thing we need to work on is really highlighting it. So down in the floor area, remember how we started out with this stone? We have these beautiful stone pieces built into the floor, but is this enough contrast? Should we do something else like powdered concrete of the darker gray variety? Maybe, because it might give us just a smidge bit more contrast to give these pathways a little bit more of a highlight. But I think once we remove the entire roof in our next episode, which will be revealing the dome, which is going to be amazing, I think we'll be able to decide that more and really start working out these root structures, maybe bringing it up to that second level, to the third. But yeah, some of these angles are looking really good. Not every angle is perfect. We definitely still need to do quite a bit more work here. But yeah, this thing was quite an effort, and I really do hope that this is somehow worth it. And this is, like, you know, a nice showpiece for this gigantic, you know, hole that we dug, that all the hermits, you know, I pitched in. I just hope I'm making something that really highlights and makes this thing look nice for everybody's effort that they put in here, because look at this place. This thing is getting crazy down here. I kind of wonder what it's like up in the air, you know? Like, man, the smell of the air, the wisping of the wind through the trees. Ah, I'm going crazy down here, guys. Scar's getting loony. Scar is getting loony down here. But yeah, so let's fly over and meet up with Scar once again. I think he is either lost his mind or fallen asleep at this point. Scar, are you down here? Scar, where'd you go? Oh boy. I don't know, guys. I think we lost Scar, but let's see if we can find him. Haven't gone full crazy yet, my friends. I'm still somewhat sane. Welcome back. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys kind of the perspective of actually walking up it and kind of give you a rundown. So of course, we're going to add all the Scar-defied, details and designs to the walls. This is, like I said, just the kind of the substructure of the whole thing. And eventually we'll get all the little andesites and granites. Well, no, scratch that. No granites. I meant cobblestone up on these things. I think that'll look really, really nice. And yeah, like I said before, I really wanted to bring the scale of this down to the player as they walk through the area, because this is a gigantic thing. And instead of making these gigantic walkways and things along those lines, I wanted to skinnyify them. So we've kind of skinnied them all up along here. And I think that really helps. It really changes your perspective a little bit, where you kind of feel cozy up here. You feel comforted as you kind of go through this giant chasm. If you've ever been in like a huge stadium, you kind of feel overwhelmed, don't you? You kind of like, ooh, or is that just me? It is midnight, so I might be getting loopy, but I at least have, and I think having something, like this kind of like close in, this just makes it feel a little bit nicer. You're kind of looking around, but you're safe at walking around on these little walkways right on the edge, like thousands of feet above the ground. Well, it's more like 25 Minecraft blocks, but you see the picture. Hello there, Bob the Creeper Building Inspector. Hello there, how are you? Is everything up to code? Clearly it is. There we go, awesome. Yeah, Bob killed me a minute ago. I took 4 deaths today. Only 4, but that's okay. But yeah, now you guys can see a really good view of the entire dome. Look at that thing. Oh, this is really, really cool. So as you can see, things get a little precarious up here. This is where things get a little dicey. This is when I wanted people to feel a little bit more fearful. Down there it's safe. You're down at the roots. You feel comfortable. Everything's sturdy. But once you get up to the wispy branches, it's a little more precarious up here. A little more crazy. Living on the edge, my friends. Living on the edge. So, like I said, next episode, we're going to knock out all of this and finish this. So we need to start even thinking about branches kind of moving around, and then really think about the kind of the dome and how we're going to theme it and design it and all those things. But yeah, this was, wow, man. This was a crazy project, and this is the top, guys. Eventually we'll figure out a nice way of kind of figuring out a way up, but I haven't figured that out quite yet. But there we go. I very much hope you enjoyed today, this crazy episode where we built this massive thing, one of the biggest things I've ever built in a single episode. So if you enjoyed it, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Hashtag never forget the big dig. Never forget. Until next time, this has been Good Times with Scar, and we'll see you later. And don't forget to subscribe, so I will.